What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Clown Puncher One. I'm so sorry. I was trying to do a bit for the character, and I just cannot bring myself to finish that joke. What the hell is wrong with me? Anyway, it's that time of the month again. Suicide Squad somehow got a new update, and since I need to justify purchasing it for this year's tax returns, I am obligated to continue playing it. And frankly, I have almost nothing to say. Which seems a little bit ass backwards, doesn't it? Because this update gave us, by far, the most story content of all the updates yet. Like, it's not even close. Season 3 has at least double the story content of the other two seasons combined. So, why is there so little to talk about? First and foremost, we got ourselves a new character. Zoe Lawton, aka Lawless. And I'ma just keep it real, this is easily the worst DLC character we've gotten so far. First of all, it's a character that absolutely nobody asked for. Can somebody in the comments tell me if you've ever even heard of Lawless before this game for some reason made her a playable character? Chances are you probably can't, because seriously, who? And second, she is just so friggin' boring. They were on a roll with their previous DLC characters, bringing in unique mechanics and fun traversal options to make them stand out from the main cast. Joker and Freeze are easily in my top 3 characters, and I can already tell that Lawless is going to be near the bottom. She's literally just a bad combination of her dad and Joker, where she's got free range of movement via Gravitron and is able to launch herself in the air with a powered boost jump. The problem is that both of these aspects are just nerfed versions of what her peers already do. Her float is incredibly slow even with the boost, and is honestly so much harder to control than Deadshot's jetpack because you can never tell what direction she's going in. Her animations for movement are just her flailing around helplessly as gravity takes over, so I never know if my inputs are working as intended or sending her in random directions that I don't want to go. And her quote-unquote super jump is anything but super. In a game all about quick and snappy movement, having a jump that's literally just a regular old double jump but somehow even slower is not going to fly. Compared to Joker's super fast and reliable rocket jump that sends him super high flying into the air, seriously, what the hell is Zoe doing? It makes it damn near impossible to get out of sticky situations quickly, which every other character can do with ease, including Harley. Definitely a big miss for this character, but she is at least functional. I was able to do relatively well with her in the one mission I played, and I probably won't have any problems playing her during the mid-season update. Still though, to go from this to this, it's a big miss, you guys. But that's not really the big problem with this character. The big problem with her, and to an extent every single DLC character out of all of them, is that we're getting absolutely no variety. Every one of these characters is associated with Batman. You've got his most famous villain in Joker, you've got a gender-bent Mr. Freeze, you've got the daughter of Deadshot, and in Season 4 we're getting Deathstroke. All of these characters are associated primarily with the Dark Knight, which is so freaking boring. The DC universe is full of unique villains, many of which have been a part of the Suicide Squad. But instead of acknowledging any of those characters by making them playable, they're given weapon skins and thrown to the wayside. Seriously, why? Especially when half of your base roster is already affiliated with Batman. No, Deadshot is not affiliated with Green Lantern. I will not hear it, WB. This is supposed to be their way of expanding the DC universe into the Arkhamverse, and yet they can't even be bothered to give us expanded characters? Gameplay is what we've come to expect at this point. Grind the same old missions for a few hours, fight Brainiac, unlock a new character, wait for the mid-season update, rinse and repeat. It's all the same missions we've come to expect, with unfortunately no new content. But killing time is still fun as always, so it wasn't the worst grind in the world like Season 1. On the upside, the aesthetic is once again on point in this update. We're returning to Arkham Knight Gotham this season, and holy crap, these maps are gorgeous. It really feels like we've suddenly returned to Gotham City for these incursion missions, but with some kind of demented fear toxin twist on them. There's lava running through the streets, statues of Batman looming in the background, and we even get to return to Arkham Asylum. It's freaking gorgeous, and I'm glad I can say that the art department is still pulling their weight with this update. And in that same regard, the music is phenomenal. Again, shouldn't come as much of a surprise since they are always cooking with the music in this series, but this one just hits on a whole other level. It sounds like classic Arkham music given new life and thrown into overdrive, and it genuinely got me hyped up every time I started a new mission. And with all the Batman stuff this update threw at us, it's no surprise that we're finally seeing the return of the man himself to the game. We all know he wasn't really dead, so can we get a nice warm welcome back to Green Lantern? Seriously? Guys, Batman was right there. We wouldn't have cared if you went out of order a little bit and had given us Batman first. Like, you literally designed this update with him in mind, and then give us Lantern instead? What the hell are you all smoking? Guess we'll have to wait till next season to rescue the big man. Great, more time just waiting for Kevin Conroy to come back one last time. Thanks. For now, we have, somehow, the most story-driven update of the game so far to rescue John. So Lawless, apparently, was able to break into Brainiac's ship to steal some tech and break out Lantern, all the while streaming her entire experience. God, she's an influencer too? When will the big suits learn that we don't like seeing these types of characters in all of our media? Regardless, we get multiple story-based incursion missions where we have to work with her to get John off the ship, which ends in the most embarrassing way possible. I swear, the writers for this game hate Green Lantern more than Batman, because they take literally every opportunity imaginable to humiliate him. Remember in base game where he died and was left laying on the ground in his underwear? Well, here, he's left hanging off a ledge begging for the squad to pull him up while they play rock, paper, scissors for some reason. Dude, you're a lantern. You can fly. What the fuck is even going on anymore? They had the decency to treat Flash's return with respect, so why the hell not Lanterns too? I swear, if they try to pull this same shit with Batman, we are gonna have some seriously strong words with you, WB. At the end of it all, we get the longest cutscene of the season so far, with an actually good conversation between Floyd and Zoe. It's the usual concerned yet still deadbeat dad shtick we've come to expect from DC at this point, but hey, it's at least a cutscene. Which is more than we can say for Joker and Harley, so you know what? I'll take it. Progress. But at the same time, I will not take it, because they honestly kinda just ruined Deadshot's character. Generally speaking, Deadshot is actually usually portrayed as a pretty good dad. Despite being the best marksman in the world, he does genuinely care about his daughter and will do anything to protect her, and more importantly, be there for her. This was the case with Arkham Deadshot prior to this game, as we see in Assault on Arkham, and was even the case with Will Smith's version of the character, who this one is obviously based off of. But now it turns out that he's just like all the other criminals in Gotham who pretends to give a shit about his kid, but is just a total deadbeat who literally doesn't even know how old his daughter is. And I'm sorry to play the race card, but isn't it just a tad too convenient that this happened when the character was changed to a black man? WB, you want to explain that one? Regardless, it is at least story content, and they attempted to give a character an arc. So I'll give at least some credit, even if I'm incredibly disappointed with the arc they decided to implement. Look, when you're given practically nothing for the entire game's life cycle, you'll take what little scraps they feed you. I'm freaking starving over here. And that's pretty much everything for Season 3. There's another Brainiac fight, but I'm sure you all know the drill by now. Like I said, there is not a lot to cover. I just had a lot to say about the little bit that we did get. I just really want Season 4 to release already so that we can get Batman back and finally end whatever story they were trying to tell with this mess of a game. With that said, please do all the YouTube stuff, because it took me so long to get that the joke with her name was going from Law-ton to Lawless. Yes, it is stupid, as am I. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later, chaps.
I see. The combined powers of two metahumans is insufficient. Very well. Employing new tactics.